Hey folks, Rachana Ranade here, and I welcome you all to a Thursday live stream. We are here to discuss about what's up with Bangladesh, and we are going to understand that the impact that this Bangladesh crisis is may have on our Indian stock market, specifically related to one sector. Okay, so we are going to get started with one basic understanding that we are not here to understand about the political aspects. I'm not a political expert at all. I don't really understand it pretty well. So we are just going to focus on the financial impact, right? So everyone has known about this, that Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and she has fled to a safe location on Monday following the new wave of anti-government protests that have rocked the entire country. Okay. Now, what we need to understand is about the key points. Now, there was a lot of data, so we have. So it's not like a very nice. I mean, just key points that you can see on the screen right now. But I want everyone of you all to focus on the screen, right? First things foremost, Bangladesh's textile industry. How much does it account for? 80% of its exports. So you can imagine, if 100 rupees worth goods are exported, 80% or 80 of that are going to be because of textile exports. And it contributes, the entire textile industry contributes to 15% of their GDP. So now you can imagine how important the textile industry is for Bangladesh. And whom do they primarily export to? They primarily export to the European Union, to United States, Canada, Australia, Japan. Okay, these are the primary areas where their textiles are exported. Now, the thing is that if the current turmoil escalates further in Bangladesh, it may lead international buyers to shift their focus to alternate markets like India. So, till date, we have been talking about China plus one strategy. We never know that people may think about textile as Bangladesh plus one strategy for India. So, we'll have to see that. Now, how much can we gain is the question. So, again, we have some numbers here. Additional business of 300 to 400 million dollars per month is the quantum of business that we can get if 10 to 11% of the neighboring countries' exports are diverted to Indian hubs like Tirupur. So Tirupur is a place in South India, and it's called as one of the textile hubs of our nation. So if if we are able to attract the textile proxy play in India, then it will be really good, because it will give a nice boost to the manufacturers in India. Okay. Now, what is the scenario in Bangladesh? Are the textile industries working? Are they shut? For that, we again have entire, whatever information it's gathered over reading multiple news articles. So, in one of the news articles, we found is that there is a specific association there, which is called as the Bangladesh Garment Manufacturers and Exporters Association. They, on 4th of August, have instructed all the factory workers to keep their facilities shut until further notice. Mainly, the point is that they don't want the factory to get, none of the factory workers should get harmed. Even there could be losses if the factory is open. The machines could get damaged, and that is the reason why they have asked the factory owners to keep their facilities shut. Now, big brands like H&M, who buy a lot of stuff from Bangladesh, they mentioned, they gave the statement that they are closely monitoring the situation and they'll continue to assess the situation daily. Okay, so that tells us how important this whole scenario is. Now we have to also understand that, okay, if not the whole thing, but a part of that is diverted to India, then which companies could get positively impacted? It could be companies like KPR Mills, Gokuldas Exports, Arvind Limited. All these are certain companies which might be the beneficiary, might be the beneficiaries. Again, understand the words carefully. I'm just helping you understand with the logics. It does not mean that you have to go and buy any of these stocks. Okay, I'm just telling you which companies are one of, are few of the comparatively known names, and that is the reason why I'm giving you 2 3 examples for this, right? uh, so now, right now, what is the scenario? It's more of a wait and watch. We'll have to understand how much orders are we getting, what could happen, will we be able to actually benefit out of this or not? All these things we have to understand. Okay, so out of these 3 stocks, if you remember, in the previous live stream I had promised that August is going to be a month where I will try and explain about one stock in just absolute brief. Okay, the whole intent is that I just wanted to discuss about stocks from different sectors, which may or may not have been talked much on our channel. So this is a stock which I don't remember talking about on our channel. Again, of course, needless to say this time and again, but still not a stock recommendation. I'm just trying to help you understand that if you're discussing about something like Bangladesh, whatever happened in their country, impact on India, if you're talking about textiles being such an important part there, and with that theme, I'm discussing one stock from the textile space, right? So KPR Mill is engaged in one of the largest vertically integrated apparel manufacturing company. So when I say vertically integrated, so you can imagine something like this, that it's not only so raw material, basically they will not purchase from outside. A lot of raw material will not be purchased from outside. Raw material also, majority of that will be produced in house. Then some work in progress will happen, finished goods, then it will be exported, right? So that is the reason why we say it's a vertically integrated apparel manufacturing company. uh, what do they sell, and how much contributes to how much part of their revenue? For that, if you look at this segmental revenue, this is for FY23, but textile contributes to 78% of the company's revenue, sugar contributes 20%, and others is like just 2%. Okay, now where does this company sell to? This company sells to customers across 15 plus states, exports to 60 plus countries, and like I discussed, right, due to it having almost 38% of its revenues from exports, this company could capitalize on the probable export shortage by Bangladesh. So what are we saying? Out of 100 rupees of revenue of KPR Mills, 78% is through textiles. Okay, and out of this 78, 38% of its revenue is from exports. Okay, so does this give the company a little bit added advantage? Yes. Okay, now the company has also mentioned that they are doing a brownfield acquisition or brownfield capacity expansion. So for those who don't understand the difference between greenfield and brownfield, greenfield means that you start a company from scratch, or you may say that if we are building more capacity through greenfield route, it means that first they'll acquire land, then they will actually start constructing the factory, they'll procure machinery, they will get more staff, they will train them, and then the production will start. Will it take a long time? Yes. Whenever I'm talking about a brownfield capacity expansion, it means that there is an existing company which is into textiles, and they're just going to actually take over that company, or there'll be some sort of merger or acquisition, and after which the factory is there, they're just going to take over that, and whatever is the capacity of that company will now be the added capacity of the existing company, in our example KPR Mills. Okay, so you can imagine, what are they saying? Companies adding a brownfield capacity for garments, which will add 30 million garment capacity by FY26. So is this also going to be definitely helpful for the company? Yes, because more production, ability to sell more ideally is there, right? Now the only thing is that the moment I was me and my team, we were discussing about, can they really benefit from this Bangladesh problem? For that, we also have to understand that how much is the current capacity utilization, and for that we found that the current capacity utilization is over 90%. And here there are different segments, we are specifically talking about the garmenting segment. So if they are currently already over 90%, I'm not really sure on how much can they actually benefit from the shortage of supply from Bangladesh. Maybe to some extent, but it'll be pretty tricky situation if they are already utilizing their capacity with over 90%. Now comes a very, very important part. If you see here, the quarterly performance, this Q1 FY25, so June ended results basically. Now I'm going to I'm going to do a YOY comparison. Revenue from operations from 1,610 crores, it's at 1,609 crores, super flat. EBITDA from 337 crores down to 322 crores, and profit after tax from 202 crores to 203 crores. Now, when I checked this, I was a bit surprised, and I was not able to understand why is there almost no growth. It's like almost the same numbers being replicated here, with a difference of barely 1 crore in the top line and in the bottom line. It's like as good as a stagnant performance. Now, when we try to understand, we went through multiple articles. One article link you can see also. It was mentioned that there are multiple reasons why the revenue did not kick off in 23, in 24. Sorry. So I'll show you one more slide. Now, if you see here, just have a look at this. Okay, 100% attention. From financial year 20, you can see here, from, I'm just rounding it off, okay, from 3,300 crores of top line to 3,500 crores of top line to 4,800 crores of top line to 6,185 crores of top line to 6,059 crores of top line. So if you can see, there's a clear cut stagnation in 24 in comparison with 23. And otherwise, from 20 to 24, there is a steady growth for sure. And this year is absolutely flat. Okay. Now, why is that so? So we tried to go through various articles, and that was the time we found that in 2024 there were multiple reasons because of which not only KPR Mills but the entire textile industry was facing certain problems. Now, what could these be? Number one, they mentioned that because ultimately textiles is something which is a non-discretionary thing. Okay, oh sorry, it's a discretionary spend. Okay, people in simple words, it is something like, it's not an, it's, so for example, I may just say that I'm going to repeat this shirt after every 2 days, or every alternate day I'm going to wear the same shirt. But the moment I have more disposable income, I can say that, okay, if I wear this once, I'm not going to wear this again also. I'm just telling you two extremes, right? So because it depends on how much I want to spend, if the overall spending power in the hands of people goes down, in that scenario, the demand is going to drop, the supply will drop, the production will drop. It's going to have a cascading effect, right? So what happens here is that because majority of the companies, the revenue, if you remember, 78%, something like that we discussed, was coming up from textiles, and out of that 38% was from exports. They said majority of the exports are in all these areas like Europe, America, and all that. And I'm sure everyone who has been following our channel, they know that the overall economic scenario in these countries is not super bright right now. Okay, and even in the previous year, it was going through ups and downs, right? So overall demand has dropped from these economies like Europe and America. Number one. Number two, everyone knows, we have discussed this on our channel about the Red Sea crisis. Because if I'm talking about exports, a lot of shipping goes through that area, and because of the stressful situations in the Red Sea area, uh, things like using alternate routes were required, which increased the shipping cost, and that is the reason why exports again dropped. Or possibly possibility number two, sending them by flight carrier, again costs increase, the demand could drop. Okay, so there could be multiple reasons like these because of which the overall textile demand itself was a little bit you know flattish, I can say. So when we checked, this was the whole scenario for at an industry level rather than only one company level. Okay, now could the pain continue? Probably yes. If you have read this, Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan, the analysts have said that the probability of US going into the recession, which originally they had said was around 15%, then they took it to 25%, and latest it is at 35%. This happened today, by the way. Today, JP Morgan said that US going into a recession, the probability is 35% by the end of this year. So again, with all these things I discussed, flattish. So overall, I feel that textiles. So two things right now. Okay, I will also discuss about the chart for this. I will definitely do that. Okay, first let me do this KPR Mills. Now, if you have a look at this, what a green candle. Now, if you see here, this green candle, it is like 14% up, one day 14% up. And which was this day? Again, the same day when the whole point about Bangladesh actually broke up. On that single day, you can see a huge green candle. And look at the volumes, fantastic volumes, right? Now, much more interesting part is the monthly candle. Let me just take this, or I can also show you on the weekly candle. Let me just close few. Okay, now this is better. Let me remove the drawings as well. Okay, now if you see here, look at this look at this volume bar, even some volume spikes in between. Okay, anyways, now if you see here, this was what, January 22, and if I were to join these lines, have a look at this, or maybe if I were to join the previous high, this is what it is testing right now. This is a monthly candle, so very interesting. I would definitely want to keep this in my watch list to see whether KPR Mills closes above this resistance level, which is at 987. Again, I'm repeating, this is not a stock recommendation. I'm telling you how to understand what are resistance levels, what are support levels. This is a case where you draw trend lines, where you join the highs of candles, and wherever there are maximum touch points, that is where you draw the line, right? And if you can see here, it has tried once, and right now also it's at a similar juncture. So you have to understand that ideally, if this be so, the stock will this is an important level, is what I can say for the stock. So this is about the technical analysis of the stock. So all in all, just to wrap up, what I want to tell you is that what is the positive side for the sector as a whole, that for India, of course, uh, all these things happening in Bangladesh, that could lead to a positive impact for the textile companies in India. But negative impact could be that, because it's about, if people want to spend, they will spend, otherwise they may not spend much more. In that case, the overall demand can drop, and because of which it can be like uh, few pluses, few minuses, not an all in all plus for this company. Okay, so that is it about KPR Mills and the textile and the overall impact of Bangladesh on the textile sector in our Indian stock market. I hope you enjoyed the analysis, right? Just let me know in the comments. Did you like it or not? You can smash the like button. So thanks a lot, everyone, for joining in. I'll see you on the next Thursday. Till then, take care. Jai Hind and bye bye.